Hey, everybody, Jody from Bird Dog Off-Road
I'm
Adventure.
Evan,
And I'm Courtney.
and we're the Adventures of Rogers and Henderson.
Awesome. We got a lot talked about tonight, don't we, Evan?
Yeah.
Lots of Bronco news here recently. I didn't even realize they were doing the Stampede thing. Until probably like in the last week or so. I mean, I know Easter Jeep Safari is coming up, but I didn't know Bronco Nation and Four were doing something. So,
Yeah, Easter Jeep Safari is like right now.
yeah. Well, that's what they're doing it in conjunction with that. I guess I don't know. Is Bronco Safari still a thing?
No, not that I know of.
Well, last year they did a event somewhere else in Utah, but I didn't know if they even tried this
Vernal Rocks.
year. Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird how big of a showing Ford is actually stepping out and showing up to this event at Easter Jeep Safari. So like originally when I saw them doing something, it was called like the 4x4 Safari in conjunction with Jeep Safari. But now it's a whole thing. It's Bronco Stampede.
Yeah.
And like Ford is there, and obviously the big players are there from the Ford influencer crowd. So
Yeah.
Interesting indeed. What's up, Rob?
Rob. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they continue doing it. I might consider going back up there.
Right. Well, and that was the curious part. If that's going to be the plan going forward, like it's going to be a hard event to miss too.
Yeah. So I just got a text or a message from Steve. He says, "Am I not in?" I said, "I don't see you."
From Scott?
Or Scott, I'm sorry. Login not working. Pay your bills, dude. Come on. Let me try it again, Mr. Scott.
Hold, please, Scott.
Hold for 1 minute while we have technical difficulties. Let's see here. Sorry, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, Scott. We'll try this again, homeboy. I just sent it to you on Instagram. I hope that works. If that doesn't, I can try to send it. Email I had. Mr. G. Who's Mr. G?
Mike.
Oh, well, I was about to say, why is he not? That's weird. Unless you all went to the O, but the link that Scott has is actually to be on the show. But I don't know, because maybe the people went to the O link or something. But anyway, who knows? So we'll get started. If Scott's able to join us, we'll get him in here. If not, we'll keep going. We got a little while, so hopefully he'll get everything worked out. Scott, if you want me to email you again instead of doing it by YouTube or Instagram, just let me know. Says I'm backstage.
Well, that's on you, Jody. You're the stage manager.
I'm a lot of things. Oops, that's not what I want to do.
Oh.
Damn, how do we get back here? Oh, well.
He kicked us out.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, dude, you're not on here.
Nobody is now.
Well, I am. There we go.
Oh, God. Don't do that.
No, Scott, I don't have you as backstage, buddy. Oh, it must be a StreamYard thing. If he pops up here, we'll get him on here. Otherwise, we'll continue going. But, yeah, there's no reason for him not to be able to get on here. But anyway, all right. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Anyway, so, of course, the big announcements a lot of people saw on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else is the the new motors that are in some of the Broncos. And I have a little sound effect I wanted to play you guys for the proper introduction. Give you a little hint there. But anyway, no, so, I mean, the Godzilla motors, Von Gittin Jr. and Lauren Healy, they claim that, or they said that they're the first ones. I'm assuming they are, but as far as like just posts and stuff. I think Lone Star was pretty close. I don't know if RTR just didn't post theirs after a while or what, but so
I know Eric with Lone Star, he's had his in and it's ran for a while, but he was working out all the mapping for the integration of the motor. So I don't know how long theirs has been up and running, but he was posting his running a while ago.
yeah. Huh. So that's interesting. We'll see. But I mean, it's one of those things to where it's like, it doesn't matter. They're both in there. They're both good quality. So we can go real quick. I'll show you guys some. So here's RTR's website. Some of y'all, I know most of you guys have already seen this, but it is, pretty badass. Evan and I were talking about this before we come on the air too. The steering thing was interesting to hear. Evan, do you remember exactly what the details were? I know it was hydro assist, but I don't remember.
So they got rid of the servo steering rack that comes in the Bronco Raptor, the Ranger Raptor, etc. And they're running a steering box out of an Ultra 4 race truck setup. And then they added the PSC hydro assist system. So, I mean, their talk was about powering the ability to turn the 42s.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was also like a space saving, like not necessarily space saving, but working around the constraints of having a motor that big in the space. But I mean, obviously getting that to work is part of the integration process. It gets rid of having to deal with the Bronco steering rack. I guess that's a whole different setup. But one thing I wasn't expecting, and they talked about in that video, is so when they initially posted, they said it was fully integrated, but what they didn't integrate, so like it has none of the GOAT modes because the steering rack is not part of the system. So if they tried to activate the GOAT modes without the Bronco steering rack in place, it would have lit up the dashboard like a Christmas tree. So that's gone. But everything else, all the electronics still work except for the GOAT modes. So like that was the biggest drawback for the guys that were doing the solid axle swaps, is without all the appropriate sensors in there from everything else, trying to put a solid axle in the front of it, the computer just went dead. It wouldn't do anything. It became a paperweight. So they at least got past that part of it. But obviously it's on the portals. It has the RCV axles. The interesting part was the rear axle. I don't know if they have a picture of that, but it's got the spider tracks welded all one piece. Now you can kind of see it there. One piece axle like they run in the Ultra 4 cars.
No, I can't really zoom on this, but oh well. Yeah, you can definitely see his
yeah. So if you look up a Spider Tracks 9-inch, I think is what that one has, where the Ultra 4 runs like a 10-inch. Yeah. Oh, it does have a 10-inch. There you go.
Yeah.
Custom fuel cell.
40 spline. Wow.
Yeah, 40 spline. I mean, that's what you're going to run in your top dollar Fusion Dana 80. I mean, that's what all the Rockstar Garage guys run in their rigs. I mean, you can still break them, but it takes a lot of work for sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised they have the 2.5s in the front instead of having the 3s up there.
Maybe the difference in how much the front can travel versus the rear.
No,
because they have the fronts. They had to strap it. I think they said they got 15 inches of wheel travel on the front and 18 inches of travel on the back.
Wow.
Which beats the Vasher setup by, I think, 3 inches.
Damn. How about the Wicked Creations? How far is theirs?
That I don't know. I haven't checked on theirs.
Okay.
But The price tag is available on that. You can go on down at the bottom and you can start ordering your long travel V8 swapped Bronco right on the website, but it's $250K.
Woo!
No wonder you're asking for more overtime.
Dude, you be working overtime till you're 80.
I won't live that long. That'll be somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
But like me and Mike were talking also, like just comparing the cost of what these different high dollar boutique packages are. Like the APG setup, so it's $250K for that, not including the price of the Bronco, right? But that gets you the custom fuel cell, the fiberglass fenders, their paint and graphics package, just like if you bought an RTR Mustang, right? Like if you bought one of their stage 3 or whatever RTR Mustangs, they're going to put their color code and graphics package on it. They're going to make it so it's a complete vehicle. This is the same thing, but if you went to like you took your Bronco to APG, you're running a $200,000 for that, and that leaves you without doing the interior. That's without the paint work and anything like that. So I mean, it's comparable. It's just, I mean, at that point you're basically at a Bronco DR anyway, but you can drive it on the street.
Yeah. I just wonder, I mean, I get all this other stuff is nice, but what if you just wanted to do the Godzilla motor and say like a normal Bronco with just an aftermarket suspension without not having all the high dollar components this thing does? That's where my question is it possible for like, a more street ready Bronco? That would be the question I would ask, because I mean, obviously not all of us are going to go all out with, these suspension components like this thing has.
Well, I asked Vaughn that question. He hasn't replied to it yet. So.
Yeah.
If it was like an a la carte, like, hey, we dropped the Bronco off, you do the 7-3 swap, you program the computer and we drive away kind of thing.
Well, speaking of APG, supposedly, I know George on one of his videos did say that they were going to offer it and a 5.0 Coyote swap. Now, granted, I have no idea if that's true or not, but we'll have to, I guess, wait and see.
Right.
Because, obviously there's a lot of computer finagling, I'm sure, that has to go on. And I can see that being the GOAT modes, because the GOAT modes do control your steering.
Right.
I didn't realize that so much until Lightbright, I think, posted the video. They said that the rock crawl mode actually makes the steering harder versus the mud and ruts, because they said they usually use mud and ruts whenever they're like in Sand Hollow, so that way they can steer easier.
I mean, I know that the steering rack, the integration of that is, I mean, it affects everything. So,
yeah.
But I mean, so like the whole thing of like, once somebody cracks the code, right? So once somebody has done the swap and you can start it and you can run your electronics and your CarPlay and your cruise control and all your things. Once somebody has figured that out, it's just like the first person to run that 4-minute mile, right? Once somebody does it and shows it can be done, then everybody's going to be doing it. So like what me and Mike were like, it's going to kick off the arms race. Who's going to offer? It's going to rapidly accelerate the options, but lower the price, because it's going to become a competitive market like what it is for the Jeeps. How many different companies offer a V8 swap for a Wrangler or a Gladiator? At least that's the goal. I mean, that's what should happen.
That's what we hope. Hopefully by the time my 2.7 liter blows up, they'll be a little bit better priced, a little more affordable, but who knows? Hell, by then, you never know what'll happen. But that would be, I think that would be a good deal to have, is if you could, now after the dust settles, so to speak, give it a couple of years, and hopefully, without further ado,
let's go.
The man is ready to come on stage. Let's welcome our good friend, Scott, 512 Raptor. You all know him and love him. Due to high demand, he is back on Dirt Therapy Live.
Oh, no.
Was that a good enough introduction?
I figured out my stupid computer. I'm dumb.
Oh well, you're in good company.
Oh, something. He's so not too smart upstairs.
That's all right. Like I said, you're in good company. So, man, I don't know if you've been listening to all this. What are your thoughts on
Yep.
these? This big RTR beast here in front of us on the screen.
Yeah, that's I don't know if I'd pay $250 for it. I'm not saying it's not worth it. Just saying, wow. Our buddy Eric, he's got his almost ready. The headers didn't quite fit, but they've got everything ready. His is going to be running pretty soon.
Nice.
So that's what, 3 different places now. So
yeah,
we got Lone Star that has his swapped out, and then we've got RTR, and then Eric has a shop that they're supposed to have all theirs done here shortly.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he's going to be hitting, and he's got the full. What is it? The APG kit. He's got the APG kit on his Bronco. Now he did those Godzilla swap. I always harass him. I said, dude, if you want to throw a bunch of money at stuff, I'm right here. Right here. You can
there you go.
throw it as much as you want. I'll catch all of it.
Yeah, only way I'm paying that much money for a vehicle without maybe 20 years from now when inflation's high enough to where that's nothing. Or if I win a Powerball ticket or something, that'd be about it.
Or buy a wrecked Bronco Raptor,
Yeah.
which I almost had to do to get a wiring harness.
Oh, wow.
Lord, I wondered about that.
Yeah.
So, like talking about the wire. Oh, yeah. So, update us on what's going on with yours. I know that you
back on the road. Again.
Road.
Yeah. So, basically, the CVJ joint. What happened was, did we talk about this before? CVJ joint got super hot, glowing red hot, slung grease. Caught wiring, plastic, and soundproofing on fire. That's what started my fire. Don't know if it was the 5 degrees that my drive line is out due to my 1-inch suspension lift in the back, which is a bunch of BS in my opinion. I think it was just from all the jumping and just everything I'm putting the thing through. It just put a lot of wear on that CVJ joint. So because it's a non-serviceable item too, by the way. So
of course,
that CVJ joint goes bad. Now you got to replace the whole drive line, the whole piece.
Oh man.
So FYI, heads up.
Yeah.
Heads up. Now I know that there's a drive shaft company, Adams, I want to say.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Okay, that's what you got. Yeah, they're great, but they don't have anything for the Raptor yet. They're talking to me about it, but I'm just concerned about enough, because all the suspension on the rear end, whether there's enough slip in the yoke. And do the standard Broncos have the slip yoke in the middle of the drive line from factory? Do you know?
I don't know about that. Evan, you know that?
Well, mine's different than yours.
Is it?
Yeah, mine is like 6 inches shorter than yours.
We're talking about the drive shaft.
So
I don't want verification.
Hey, Jody, you took pictures when you switched out your drive shaft, right?
I know. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's got 2 drive shafts, the front and the rear. But the rear, I know it's going to be different length. But as far as the joints, I'd imagine they're the same.
Well, I think pull up the picture from when you swapped out yours. You took a picture of your stock one, right?
Lord. Yeah.
What else?
Sorry,
while we're doing that,
there's Lone Stars running. If instead of us relying on our memories, because none of us are young that are discussing this, why don't we go to a picture for evidence?
Let me see if I can find one. I've got so many damn pictures, Evan. It's not even funny. Well, let me see here. I got some pictures of the drive shaft as it was like. Let me switch my.
Yeah, just go to one of it, rubbing your fuel tank. It'll show you.
Yeah. Stop screen, present, share screen, Windows, photos. All right, here we go. So let's see here. Here's some pictures I took of it when I was trying to get the damn thing figured out.
It's got the slip yoke in the center.
Yeah.
So that's that. Yeah. Looks very similar to mine.
Yeah, it's still sitting in my garage, by the way, if anybody needs one.
Yeah.
The Adam one's a lot smaller than that. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is like, do I get rid of it or not? I've still got the stock radiator too. Yeah, because I had to measure it.
That's what caught on fire right there. That right there.
That
That
wire
was
right here.
glowing red hot. No, not yeah, right. Yep, that CVJ joint right there where your drive
Yeah.
shaft goes in. Where all the
Really?
bolts are. That's what was glowing red hot. That's what toasted and cut all that wiring, which I have more wiring because mine goes to the variable exhaust system for the actuators. Those were the dual jumper wires that they're having trouble getting.
So reason this line is right here, Scott, and I'm surprised
Mhm.
Adams just didn't have you do this. You have to measure
Mhm.
from that length
To
to
the
this
pinion,
length,
right? Yep.
and then you have to tell them. And of course, after I did this, they had me go back and measure something else. I think to back here or something. But yeah, that's what those pictures are for.
Okay.
You know, I'm like a hoarder when it comes to pictures. Speaking of why I'm
Not a
going
bad
back
thing.
to my stock setup.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, but so here's the Adams
There's the
drive
new one.
shaft. Yeah, you see it's a lot narrower.
Do you have any vibration from it?
I can't tell anything.
Okay.
Now it's been knocking the shit out of the fuel tank right here.
Right.
This was when it was brand new, but this piece right here has been hitting this piece and this piece. That's why I just posted on Instagram my new ADS adjustable track bar and the Barnes off-road brackets. Local shop down here, Flying or Let's Roll Off-Road. They're doing a CNC. They're doing a fabricated piece because I can't find anybody that doesn't still have theirs. Or looking for a salvage shops, like looking for a damn, you know,
Needle and haystack.
yeah, needle in the haystack. I was going to try to use the sand analogy or something, but oh well. But still, yeah, you can't find those anywhere. Salvage Broncos, apparently. I've looked
Right,
everywhere,
right.
but yeah, that's the Adams shaft there.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah, we can see that skill.
That
Oh,
clearance.
How far that is? That's the Next Venture Motorsports
Yep.
skid.
Mm-hmm. Covers the pinion.
Yep, all the way over that fuel tank. Real nice. All right, so I will stop screen save. All right.
Sorry about that. Got you sidetracked. So
No,
anyway,
that's fine. Dude, we
back on the road.
ain't got no time limits here. All right, so y'all want to check out the Lone Star for those of you online who haven't seen it before. I'm sure most of you probably have.
Go back through trying to find my other chat where we were talking about the Bronco swap, the Godzilla swap in the other chat. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. That's pretty much all he's 2 liters is a soft drink, not an engine size. That's pretty cool.
Today, the person headers didn't fit installed. Sorry, I'm reading back through so I can give you some information on. Have you guys follow 22 Bronco Raptor, Eric?
I think I do.
Okay, yeah, he's the one that's doing all the swap. They've got the V8 conversion with the 1080R transmission, the billet torque converter is all in, and got everything. They got some custom mounts for the transfer case, and it's getting Suncoast is what his transmission is going to be.
Okay.
So
What did you say his name was? 22 Raptor?
yeah, 22 Raptor. 22 Bronco Raptor.
What transfer case is he using? Do you know?
I think the stock one. Yeah,
Okay.
right now, everything that he said so far, everything is marrying up. They got nothing on the dash. And it's still getting this stock front steering rack, independent suspension. Everything's, he's just swapping the motor. The shop has had to do some wiring diagnostics, of course, obviously.
Right.
That's the hardest part. A little modification on the intake. They got that done, and the headers. There was a little, they had to obviously fabricate the headers. So let's see here. Install kit, wiring harness, various adapter plates, brackets, program, etc., all available as a kit. So they will be doing this conversion kit after his. This is kind of the maiden for them, this company he's working with. They seem to be, what they did is they got his Bronco Raptor and they had a donor one. And that way they have one sitting there to verify back and forth once they gutted his. And they've been really doing a great job. That was Juicy Motorsports. is who's doing the swap for him.
Maybe it's them I saw.
And there's a Bronco Raptor. Let's see here. There's a transfer case adapter that they have to put in conversion.
Oh, here it is. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I do remember seeing this.
Yeah. I mean, it looks clean, man. It looks like factory. You're seeing all the engine stuff. It's like it fits under there. We keep trying to get him to put the performance intake on it, the supercharger. We're like, dude, come on. You're going to go in. Let's do this. Put the supercharger on it.
Yeah. Header install, Godzilla swap coming next. Man, that's impressive.
Yeah. No, it looks clean and it looks great.
Yeah.
You're gonna share a picture, Jody, or what?
No, he's hoarding it. He's like, nope, nobody gets to see nothing.
What do you mean? Here's the pictures. You not seen it? Oh, never mind. Damn, no wonder I couldn't get it. I thought I had it on there already. Never mind.
Like we're sitting here like, come on, Jody.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I'm glad I'm not the only one tonight.
Yeah, told you you're a good company, man. I wasn't lying. Yeah, here's his some of his videos. Are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the Raptor is more conducive to this than a regular Bronco. I would think the engine bay is about the same size. It's just the suspension and engine mounts might be different.
Right. That's where I would assume, obviously, because they do have all the suspension towers are in a different location than the factory. That's really all they change is the tower placement on the frame. All the rest of it should all be the same, except for the fenders are different, but the inside measurements are all the same.
The engine bay itself is the same, just the shock towers.
Yes, exactly. The whole shock tower placement.
So Gonzo TV says, I thought they weren't producing the Fun Haver kit anymore. I don't know what he's talking about. You're talking about the body kit?
The body kit. I think they did pause on that for a little while. So
I was told that they were switching vendors or switching
manufacturers. Yeah.
Yeah, what I was told. Yep. So I don't know, Gonzo, if that's still the same.
I heard that as well. But I hear you can still get them here and there, but they're few and far between. Yeah, there's the headers.
What's that green shit on them for? Is that like
that's a kit that you buy that you click together so you can make like exhaust people
make
have. It's a jig, yeah. So and then you cut all the little pieces and put them together.
Okay. I mean, I thought it might have been that header wrap. I remember back in my Mustang days, they used some kind of wrap.
The mummy wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are just little plastic pieces to get your little angles and your bends and clearances and all that. He said they're close to firing. They fired it up and it'll run, but it's loud as hell. So
I bet
you can't run it for too long, otherwise it'll start throwing codes because I think that's the next thing is the O2 sensors.
And melting shit.
Yeah. Yes, it will.
But I mean, so it'd be fun to put a Whipple on there, but even just a solid Ford Performance cam in that 7.3, you're gonna make 600 horsepower out of it.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I can't wait to see what happens to the rear end.
Well, that was going to be the next question: is the rear end and the transmission going to be able to handle all that shit?
Supposedly, the transmission's built. I would say my guess is the rear end and the transfer case is and the drive line obviously is the weak links. I mean, if mine can toast it at 50,000 miles, with just mine, I don't know. I'll tell you what, those SPD downpipes woke that thing up pretty darn good.
Oh, I bet they did.
I wonder if a Dana 60 would survive behind it.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the same rear end kind of. It's a Dana 50, not a Dana 60.
50 in the
yeah.
I mean, realistically, it's gonna be situational, right? So like that Dana 50 will hold it for as long as if you're giving it full throttle and the rear tires are ripping loose, it's just the tires that are gonna take it. If it suddenly finds traction, that's a whole different story.
That's where things explode.
Yeah.
Stick your damn arm in that intake.
So realistically, if it's just a stock 7.3, right, like an off-the-shelf 7.3, the horsepower isn't that much different than what you have with your Raptor, right? I mean, the torque numbers, the horsepower numbers are very similar. It's just you're moving the curve. So really, I mean, unless he's giving it a full send, trying to bump it over a rock. I don't think it's going to take any much more abuse than what you're throwing at yours. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Right.
throw a supercharger on there, you throw a head and cam package on there. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yep. It's a different
I
animal.
like how
You can't
the
really
alternator. Yeah, I like how the alternator's been moved up here.
Yep.
That's part of that Holly kit, right? The Holly accessory kit changes the intake plenum and then moves it allows you to move the alternator, the steering pump, or not steering pump, and if everything you need moved around, their bracket system allows you to arrange your accessory drive where you need it versus where Ford wants it to be.
So can you do that with the non 7.3, or would the charge pipes be in the way?
Charge pipes in the way.
Yeah.
Probably a totally different bolt pattern, everything.
Yeah.
I think that's my next one. Goose tune and a charge and some upper and lower charge pipes is what I'm doing next.
I just got
Well, I was gonna say, I'll be honest with you guys. When I put the charge pipes and that cold air intake kit on mine, I could tell a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a dyno, but I could. You push on it, you can tell a difference. I mean, when I was united by Bronco, we were doing that race up the hill. I was keeping up with the Raptor. I don't know if his was stock. It was the guy. He's out of Texas Freedom. It's like the blue one. But I had it in Baja mode, and I gassed it up before we took off. Got to get the boost up. But when I let off of it, you could hear that thing. That turbo going hard.
I like sport mode.
Yeah, I mean, those things make a difference, man. I mean, I could tell it mine. I don't know about a Raptor, but I could tell it definitely mine.
So I've had what do I have? I have the intake, the S&B intake. I've got the Cobb intercooler, got a JB4 tuner, and then I have the SPD downpipes. And when I put the JB4 tuner on it, you can tell the difference because it adds 3-4 pounds of boost or something like that on 93.
Oh.
Good gas. And then I put the intercooler in, and I could tell a difference with the intercooler. You could definitely tell a difference. Well, I put the intake on, couldn't tell nothing. Right, this is like didn't get any sound, nothing. Then with these SPD downpipes, they have been the biggest noticeable difference in everything for me. Sound wise too, don't need to put a muffler on it. If I put a muffler on it, it'd be too loud. Right now it's a little loud, little raspy when it's open full throttle, but not horrible, not annoying, not like Mustang V6 straight pipe raspy,
Right.
But it's got a good tone to it. And you can tell a difference. Now all of them together, you could tell a difference. It's spunkier.
Well, I mean, cramming more air into it doesn't do you any good if you're still getting the same amount of exhaust out of it.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
All right, so we've gone over 3 builds. Look at they're taking the old one out.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going over 3 Raptor build or Raptor 3 Godzilla builds. So, yeah, exciting time. A little optimism. Like I said, I know I'm sure you guys may be in the same boat, but it's probably be a few years before I could even entertain the idea of doing something that intensive. And even then, I'd want to make sure other people have done enough to where everybody has it down to where, I'm not the guinea pig.
I hear there's another company working on one too. I can't really disclose, but I know there's another company that is.
Well, I know APG just said they were going to, so that's 4 that I know of.
Yeah, I know of one other suspension company that's working on it. So
5 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, all it takes is somebody to get that figured out, and the genie's out of the bottle.
Does it start with an F?
No.
Really?
No.
Are you thinking Fouts?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, but no.
Yeah, he's over here next door to me.
Yeah, Greg's a great guy. I'll tell you what, they got some good stuff.
Yeah, I've not been to their shop yet. I need to go over there.
You should.
It's about the only shop in Phoenix I don't think I've been to yet.
Yeah, Jody, you should go over there.
Yeah. Well, hell thing is that everything he's got, I can't afford.
Hey, they're taking a firm on the portals now.
Oh, are they? Well, hell, Brockbuster was doing that a long time ago. I still can't do that. I've affirmed myself out.
You got to cash in those frequent flyer miles.
Shit.
I can affirm I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So y'all want to move on to the Moab show cars?
Yeah, might as well.
Well, shit. Gotta sign up for their damn email. I don't even give a shit about the arches one. To me, that's just I mean, it's okay, I guess. But is there anything special about it other than the paint job?
Is it a paint or is it a wrap?
It's got to be a wrap, right?
Yeah, I would
I
think.
don't know. Well, it's Ford. They can afford to do whatever they want to with it.
I do like the best top automatic top though. That's pretty cool. Have you guys seen that? It's power top.
Yeah.
That's neat. I mean, if you're running
It's
down
got
to the ball real
37s.
quick.
It's got 37s from the factory. So I guess for a non-Raptor.
So that best top, that powered top is they bought my top,
Okay.
and so they bought it for that design. But I mean, so the shop that we go through for all of like that did Courtney's wrap and did what else do they do of yours?
Everything.
But so they were my top dealer in the Midwest. So like we got to see it when they were first rolling out, and they've made some change. What was the big change? Was the window size on the back?
Yeah, the
right?
back window was really small originally, and they
It almost looked like odd, like it was a weird size, like
looked-
more canvas than window.
it looked terrible at first.
But they're I mean that's we watched. So he got his wife for her birthday a custom colored top, which they don't typically do, but as a corporate to dealer thank you, they made it to match the color of her Bronco. And so they put it on. We got to watch them open and close it, and that was pretty cool. But it's a lot of money too.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks
This-
like here, Evan, you want to take the lead on this one since this is probably you're the closest one to it.
Well, I mean, one, those Raptor fender flares look pretty damn good on a two-door.
Yeah, I think they look better on two-door than they do a four-door. No offense, Scott.
Nope. Dude, from the get-go, we were like, hey, nice Tupperware tubs on the side of those, just cut some Tupperware and bolt them to the side. So hopefully in the next few months, I'll have new ones. So
yeah,
But-
I've seen some of the aftermarket ones. Some of those look pretty good.
there's some in design that the guy's been working on for a while that are going to be coming out soon. They're going to be pretty slick. Going to be bad.
So that's the thing about Broncos in general that I get frustrated by. It's everybody's either a little or like wheel ride. There's not a lot of options in between. I don't trust ADV anymore, but I mean Anderson Composites has theirs, which is a modest one, but it's like you're either 8 inches wide or you're 4 inches wide, and it's like can we not? And I don't like the way most of them either like swoop out like that or they just go out and over like that. The real wide one. I don't know. It just seems like I'm waiting for somebody to get something with a better contour.
Oh, just
don't
wait.
like that.
We've got some. Well, for the Bronco Raptor, at least, we've got a set coming out. They're going to be, I think, pretty. It's going to be pretty cool. Give you some options. So
yeah. And I wonder, does a Bronco Raptors fenders? Could you not bolt those onto a regular Bronco?
totally
I mean,
can. That's what this is.
Yeah, I mean, because that's
not a Raptor.
No, I know that.
That's just
Well,
that's
they're supposedly going to sell everything on these, and I'm assuming that means the Raptor fenders too. But if I had a two-door, I would consider getting them for this because I mean, at least in these pictures, it was good.
Supposedly, everything on the both of these, everything that you see on them, you can go to your Ford dealer, you can open up the Ford parts catalog and say, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they'll put it on for you. And I mean, besides the wrap, right? Like,
right.
I mean, the interesting part is the color of the roll cage, right?
Right.
So is that
it's like code orange almost?
Code orange on the roll bar, which we were told you can't wrap the roll bar. So is that a code orange two-door that they never bothered to make?
Right, because that was only came in Raptors.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, when they have the budget like Ford does, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Or is it painted?
Or is it just probably painted?
Because it's not quite code orange. It's a little more orange than red, if that makes sense. Because code orange, well, I don't know.
So they call it in their description, they call it the code orange package.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no code orange in the door jamb right there. So
well,
what color's the door jamb?
Looks like it's black.
Yeah, usually you want to start with the best vehicle to wrap is black if you're going to do a wrap.
That's what I've always thought too. Is if I thought I was going to do a wrap one,
Mhm.
I would definitely get a black car.
Yep.
That works great until you don't plan to wrap it, and then it gets flying take down the side of it, and then you have to wrap it.
Yep.
Yeah. I have had black vehicles before, and they're beautiful when they're clean, but God, they get dirty so easy.
What color are they calling that? It's almost like a beer, not even a beer bottle with like
Looks like a root beer kind of color.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, me neither. But
That
a
one's
sweet
slick.
design.
Yeah, that's boss looking.
It's got 40s, right? 40-inch.
40s.
Yep.
Baja TA Evo tires. I wonder what that says. It's racing tires.
That I don't think they're street legal. I don't think you can run those on the street. Maybe the Evos you can. I could be 100% wrong, but I thought the red and blue letters were competition only, off-road
It
only.
says here, but instead of those DOT compliant tires found on the first model, the Cliffhanger gets the monstrosity large.
Okay, so the four-door is DOT compliant. They're
Yes.
saying this one's not.
Yeah. Right.
Well, this has the Fox Live valve dampers too, it says.
Yeah.
So I wish if they sold those like for a regular Bronco. I mean, I'm sure they probably cost a shitload.
$2,400 a corner. I had to price one. So I was like, ooh, thank goodness mine are rebuildable.
Okay, but that's really not that unreasonable if you consider a set of Kings is going to run you that too.
You can get Kings.
Usually you can get
cheaper, like
two for that much.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get Kings. You can probably get Foxes less than that as well if you don't have the live valve, like click. And then what you do is you buy the live valve only works. The E-click only works with live valve. Never mind. I was going to say you could get a set of factory shock Fox and the 3.0s without the live valve, and then put E-click on them, but it won't work. You got to have that E-click system.
Most of the aftermarket coilover kits for the regular Bronco usually are in that $5,000 to $6,000 range, unless you get like something extremely out there. Like the Icon has that one that has their own electronic shit that's a lot higher, but that's just a coilover. That doesn't include your control arms or trailing arms or anything, but they're usually around $5,000 to $6,000. Right. I think that's what the shots or the Fox, the 2.5s, the Kings, the ADSs like I got. Most of those, if you get front and rear, they're around $5,000 to $6,000. Sometimes you can get them cheaper on sale.
Right.
But so Gonzo says that there's a 2-door in SoCal that already did the kit and it looks really good. Gonzo, pictures or it didn't happen, buddy?
No, he's right.
That's Fiberworks. Yeah, the Fiberworks kit looks
there's
good.
a white 2-door that has the Raptor fenders, fender flares on it. It does look really good.
Yeah. And he bought it. I think he bought it off a wrecked one, or he said he bought it from Ford dealerships.
How did he adapt it to a 2-door?
Yeah, the white one.
How did he adapt it to a 2-door? That's a different fender. They're longer.
The front fender's the same. The back is the one that's different. I'm sure fiberglass work.
Yeah. Now I've seen the Fiberworks ones at the Deutsch had off-road had some at the Bronco Stampede down here at Sanderson Ford right before Christmas. And they had the gills, or whatever you want to call them, the vents.
Yeah, the vents.
Yeah, he had a couple of Raptors.
Did they cut them and open them, or because they come like solid, not cut and functional?
I'd have to go back and look at the pictures. I think they're open.
Okay. Yeah,
but this is the Fiberworks. It's the Fiberworks kit. Now you can get the kit that fit a Raptor.
Yep.
Or you can get a kit for the regular Bronco that has those vents that look like a Raptor.
Yep.
Because I saw both. Because apparently Todd over at Deutsch, they don't deal with ADV no more. That used to be their preferred brand, but I think that he said that they mainly use Fiberworks now. But I was also told Fiberworks was the company that was doing the RTR kit. So
I heard it was APG or Advanced. Was it AP? I heard it was APG.
When Funhaver first launched, it was Fiberworks sourcing it, but they weren't selling the same system. So like Fiberworks was making the parts for Funhaver, but Fiberworks couldn't sell the same design under their name. So they have the whole different system under their name that they also manufacture.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now APG has very similar. They're very wide fender flares, look almost identical to the ones that are offered by ADV.
Yeah.
I don't know if because I know they partnered up on the hardtop Fiasco, which
Wah, wah,
then they
wah.
stop and leave. Yeah, it says
Now
he. Oh, so said Tremulous, you got the last 2-door kit.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Huh.
I
like
think I
the-
know somebody has a set of Fun Haver 4-door sitting around on a shelf. I don't know what he's doing with them, but they may be around if anybody ever wants them, possibly.
Well, I talked to Derek, and Derek said they were a bitch to get on.
Yep.
And then I know the ADV. I've heard of several people tell me those things were a bitch to get on.
Yeah,
And
my
that
buddy
the
Chris has
quality
a
wasn't-
set. So much work had to be done with them just to clean them up. Just to
so
clean
that
them
the
up.
quality wasn't that good. They
Yep.
were wavy, and
Yep.
they said it was real expensive for them to get.
APG,
Yeah, the APG
does
is
have
carbon
a carbon
fiber.
fiber. It's an option, not all of them. They have a fiberglass or carbon fiber option.
Yeah.
So either or.
So another one of his latest videos, he did a big spiel about that, what the difference was, and he showed how they made them. George, or whatever his name is.
Man,
APG
I'll tell you what, every time I see one of those Marsh Gray Raptors, I'm like, man, I want to be like Scott.
We have one for sale 3 minutes down the road from us, Jody. It looks
shut up! Don't tell me that shit.
It looks fantastic.
Look good in your driveway.
Yeah. Well, hell,
And you know what?
it looked
One
good in
nice
my
thing about
garage.
it is you can always get through the Starbucks parking lot.
Yeah.
Those Bronco Raptors.
So
Yeah.
I actually called her. Was it last week? Because we kept driving by that thing. I'm like, man, I should just go return the 2-door to stock and go get that thing. And then she's like, well, you can do that, but then I'm going to be driving it because there's no reason for you to drive it 3 minutes down the road and park it at storage.
She got a point.
She does
Put
have
the miles down on it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want me to be the one driving it every day.
I'm sure the kids would drive. One of the kids would drive it.
Oh, Lord, no.
Oh, I'm sure you drive it. That's the problem with them. It's like my wife's like, I'm hungry, or I need a bottle of wine. I'll run. I'll go. Just no problem. I make every chance I can to drive that thing. I'll jump in it. No worries.
So Scott, have you been out here in the desert much with yours?
Nope, not much. That's where I want to live with the thing. That's what I'd prefer.
Yeah.
I prefer that over rocks, in all honesty. Sand and desert dunes, fast rates, fast speed stuff. That's what
I've gotten to where I like doing that a lot more than I did before. Before I moved out here, all I was focused on was rock crawling. That's another reason why I wanted to go back without the 4-link kit, because I'm like, on the trails down here in the Arizona group, some of these trails, there's technical parts too, don't get me wrong, to where you're climbing a little bit, but there's a lot of, and they'll have they'll like curve in the banks. It's like you almost feel like you're on a NASCAR track because it banks up. You can get some speed up and just fly through those things. It's so fun.
Yeah, that's the fun. That's what I like. I like the big banks, the big swoops, the dunes. So that's my jam. That's what I prefer.
Yeah, is there many places like that in Texas, or is it mostly just off-road parks?
No, unfortunately, 90% of Texas is privately owned. So any off-roading, you have to either know somebody or have a track. There's the Raptor, what is it? Raptor Run up in Blackwell, Texas. They got a big track up there that they do once a year. That's coming up here June 19th. Then we've got a couple tracks. My buddy Brody owns a track, or part owner of a track up there at Eagle Canyon. Eagle Canyon, right? They just had a DR down there this last weekend that I missed out on. Freaking bummed me out. So I was over on the beach, some hang out on the beach thing. It was fun, but not DR fun.
Not DR fun, right?
Not DR fun. So that's hopefully going to come. He's going to get it down there again, and then I'll head down there, or up there, excuse me. So there's that, and then there's just tracks. So there's not a lot. And then we've got Hidden Falls Off-Road Park, which is not fast. It's like 15 miles an hour in rock crawling. So definitely not like where you're at, where you can just go on a back road and you're in desert trails and BLM land for miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, I wonder if Nevada is even better though. I don't kind of wonder if that area is better for the higher speed stuff.
Probably all depends on where you're going, right? So
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff here is real mountainous. I mean, here in the Valley, there's some good spots, but other than that, you go too much farther out of Phoenix, and it's a lot of hills and mountains.
gotcha. Which
Are
are
you
fun
moving
too.
Is that for me, Gonzo? I
San
interviewed
Diego.
for a place in San Diego. I hadn't heard back from them. I interviewed for a couple places in Texas too, Houston, and I've got some applications back in DFW, but
San Diego.
no word yet. What's that?
Got me messed up.
San Diego's close to Johnson Valley.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind living in San Diego. It's a pretty cool spot, but just whatever God takes me, I guess.
Midwesterner in me saw that and read South Dakota. I'm like, damn, did you live in South Dakota?
Never.
No,
would.
I'm not moving back where there's snow on the ground a lot. I can handle a little bit, but not, I'm not moving back when it's cold as hell.
I like the snow, man. I like to play in the snow. It's fun. So
I think they got more snow in Oklahoma City than we did here this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that jet stream, the way it dips down, it cuts right above Texas a lot of times. Because I know, like the snow we used to get in Tennessee when I was a kid, you watch the jet stream, it would dip down to where sometimes it hit like the Houston area, and whatever they get, we would get like 3 days later.
Right.
And you're what part of Texas you in again, Scott? I'll ask you
Austin.
every time you get on there.
I'm in Austin, just south of Austin and Buda.
Yeah.
But
I would
from
love
Oregon,
to live in
Virginia.
Austin. Austin and Dallas are the only two cities I really like to live in, but I guess I could take Houston if I had to. The pay was right.
Yeah, nah. I just went through Houston. Never again. It's, no,
That
we drove
humidity,
through them.
man.
They're like, oh, they're all bragging about how their traffic is great and there's no holdup. BS. I hit like every. There was so much road construction, like 4 lanes down to 1 lane. I'm like, seriously, really, 4 to 1, and Houston can, no, I'm not going there
They got
again.
more
Not
snow
going to
in
Galveston
Pensacola.
again either. What's that?
They got more snow in Pensacola than we got. I find that hard to believe, though. That's kind of weird.
They did get quite a bit here. It's all that government machine, that government weather machine.
Pensacola, that's Florida, though. I've been to Pensacola.
I
I've been to Destin. And what's that? Panama City. It just still seems a lot really far south to get much snow. Did y'all just not get much snow at all this year, Evan?
No.
The first year I moved to Chicago, it was the first time since they've been recording it that the whole entire month of January and February didn't get any snow, but it made up for it like the next couple of winters.
I think we got more snow in March this year than we got the whole rest of the winter. And
we had like a total of 3 decent sized snows, and it melted by the end of the day every time.
Yeah.
I think we only had to shovel once.
It is. It snows while I'm at work, and by the time I'm off work and not in my work truck and can go play, it's melted in slush.
Yeah, that's the worst. And then it freezes at night, and then it's a mess.
Yeah. And they dump, 1 million pounds of salt on the road for a dusting.
Yeah.
You know how much snow we've got down here this year? 0. I don't miss having to get fluid film.
We didn't get any snow here.
Yeah, I was going to say you're in Austin today. I got some in DFW when I lived there.
We've
There
got
was
some.
one time it broke the record for like a snowfall in 24 hours. It was like well over 13 inches of snow.
Yeah,
it melted like super fast though. But yeah.
Hey Rob, it's the construction down on the road on the highways are terrible down here. So here's the thing about Texas, right? The road construction. All right, in 1,000 years, when the sun burns out, Texas will have to bring up road lights so they can finish 35 construction. That's the comment. Like I moved here 15 years ago. They were working on 35. They're still working on 35. And their construction is so stupid. It's like normal states, right? People with brains shut down at night. They do road construction overnight, right? When traffic's low, less all that stuff. Temperatures are lower, obviously in the summer. Not in Texas. They like to in the middle of summer when it's 100 and something have guys out there at like I think the most working time is like rush hour from 7 to 10. Then they take lunch and they come back to work at 3 to 6. So that's the way they work road construction down here.
Well, they do the same thing in Arizona, at least that I've seen.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just paving over sand. I mean, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
Well,
go.
I'm here in Phoenix, but I'm talking about that going up towards Flagstaff. They've been working on that damn thing forever, and they have lane closures every weekend. So if you want to go up and do some trails up north, you have to be careful because you have a damn 7-mile backup on the interstate trying to get back down because it's just the Interstate 17. There's not really a lot of viable backways coming
You got a
back
Bronco
down.
with the road.
Yeah, that's true.
Giddy up detour.
Yeah. Damn, man, we've been here for an hour now. It's pretty good timing.
Not
So
me,
I think
party.
Scott's only been on here, what, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So what's
Yep.
next events, guys?
I don't know. I wanted to hit Supercell East, but just I didn't get it in time. I know there's a thing called Raptors on the Rocks that's coming up. That one might be one. In June, actually June 7th, there's one down here at Rally Ready. We've got this place called Rally Ready down here. That's a little track for March of Dimes and Leaf Johnson. I'm going to go to that, but it's just a day event. But yeah, I don't have anything on the radar. I know I'm going back to King of the Hammers next year. I don't know if I'm going to drive or, well, yeah, Supercells next week. I know I'm not going to make it though. So
Yeah.
any of you guys going to make it?
Not Supercell East, no. That's way too far for me.
Yeah.
I have to take 2 weeks off just to get out there and back.
Right.
My family lives there, so if I go there, it's by flight.
I hear there's one that's like a Bronco Palooza thing that I'm looking into.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know.
There's something like that popping. So that's on my radar. So
That's what,
kinda see.
mid-July. What's the date, Courtney? 21st?
19th.
Okay, it changes every year a little bit by a couple. I know it's usually like the third weekend.
You're in the planning chat.
20th.
I know, but I don't have everything memorized.
Old man brain. I call it sometimers. It's not all
good if I
timers.
remember where
It's
I sat last.
sometimers.
Yeah, we have some good sponsors rolling in, so that's great. Metal Tech's shipment should arrive tomorrow. I'm excited to see what they sent.
Yeah,
Nice.
Rock crawlers in for this year.
yeah.
Have you hit up Armadillo or Turn?
I think I emailed Turn Off Road, Armadillo. Jody, you worked with them last year, right? On setting
Well, Nate and them reached out to me. Well, Nate lives in Southern Illinois, so he had just got his, like literally days before the event. But they weren't up there as a sponsor. He just come up there, just he just came to the event. He just happened to just got his. So it was and his was, I think his was the first squareback, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it did its official debut at Bronco Palooza.
Team Squareback.
Well, I'll be honest with you, if I was going to get one, that'd be the one I'd get. I'm not a real fan of the slants.
They look good. I mean, I like them. It just I need the space.
Yeah.
They look good on the Raptors. I mean, like, when they were mocking mine up and they had raw aluminum, I was like tempted. But I was like, ooh, makes it look
I wouldn't
fat.
mind having one. It's just that there's so much other stuff I want to buy before I redo another hardtop because I've still got the Anderson one I paid for, and that was 2 years ago now.
Yeah. So you're one of the very few that has that, huh?
Not really. I think they've been selling them since then because there for a while, I know a bunch of the ADV people, it was pretty much the only options they had were Andersons or stay on hold for ADV. And I'm sure a lot of those people were pissed now. Now it turns out, I'm sure they've got a lot more competition. I think Armadillo is you either love it or you hate it or you want it or you don't want it. I don't think it doesn't have that stock look necessarily. I mean, it doesn't look bad, and I think they're nice. They're really nice. I wouldn't mind having one, but I think for a lot of people that aren't like hard time off-roaders or hard time overlanders, it may not appeal as much to them.
Well, and also too, the Armadillo is not a full convertible, right? So it's a target top. So I think personally, there's two options. One is Turn Off Road and or Armadillo if you're going to get a hardtop. I mean, you can buy the factory Ford hardtop, the new ones. You can get them, but they come without glass, and I think they're like $5,500 without glass.
Wow. Really?
And then you can paint it. Yeah, the new ones that they just came out with.
Well, hell, if you're going to do that, you might as well get an Anderson's because it's just like the factory one, and it has glass and everything. And it's not much higher.
Is it a 5-piece as well, or is it a 3-piece?
Yeah, it's mine's because mine was I think mine was actually the first one that they sold. And it's just like the factory. They use the Ford parts because when I lived in Chicago still, the rear glass shattered, which is not uncommon. But they use the latches and they use Ford parts on it. It's just fiberglass instead of whatever Mick is. But
cardboard. Cardboard.
Yeah. But it's got the same weather stripping, the same latches. Now the things that you turn inside, they have billet aluminum pieces in it, so they're a little nicer quality. And then the sound deadening's nicer quality. So I look at it this way: it depends on what your functionality needs are. If you want to be able to take the middle piece out, then I think Anderson's is good to go. I think the only thing is I think, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think of the less pieces you had, probably the quieter it's going to be.
Yep.
And if you wanted to go, if quietness was more of a priority and you're only looking to remove the fronts, then I think Turnoff Road's your obvious choice.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's at UBB, and it's nice. They're all three nice, I think. I think they're all three nice.
Absolutely. I like to have they'll have all their niche. And the nice thing, I've seen the interaction between, at least firsthand, between, Armadillo and Turn and those guys. I mean, they're solid. They know there's no fighting and squabbling, like Coke, Pepsi. It's just, they got their own thing.
The thing about ADV that pissed me off was because, Anderson was the first one to get one out. And ADV was kept promising. And I guess whatever they did videos, with the Anderson top there, and they cut it in half and all this shit. And they were jumping up and down on the roofs. And
I remember that.
And I was just like, y'all spent an awful lot of time basically talking shit. They didn't use the word Anderson Composites name, but it was the only other top out there. But they were just going out of their way to try to bash it. And I'm like, maybe you should have spent more time fucking building your hardtops or getting your hardtops built, because they just, now they filed for bankruptcy. So, karma's a bitch.
Yeah, they'll just rebrand their name and come back.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Well, supposedly somebody said they're only bankrupting it only applies to their roofs, but I don't know how bankruptcy laws work or if that's even
true. They can pick it. They can pick and choose, and then it's up to the courts to decide whether they take it or if they have any sort of assets to pull in or any of that. So, and they're doing 7, right? So that's 7's full and 13, or was it 11?
One of them's a restructure. One of them's a dissolution.
Right.
I think 11 is a restructure, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though.
Which means they pay back money to the people. So they're probably not going that route.
My question is, what happened to all the fucking money?
Right. Supposedly it went into R&D to APG. I mean, that's a whole weird.
It all went to Facebook sponsored ads for their fenders.
Yeah.
I can't scroll through Facebook on any given day without seeing an ADV sponsors ad in my newsfeed.
Really? I get 0 of that.
Yeah, I will be honest though. There was a part of me that was hoping they might have a liquidation sale over in California. Not over there and get a few things.
Vultures got to eat too.
Get a new hood, get some fenders for like a quarter of the price or something.
Yep.
Mercy.
I'll be honest with you. If I was going to get a new hood, I'd probably just buy the Raptor one from Ford.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Be done with it.
Yeah, it's functional,
right?
And then you can get the carbon fiber kit on the scoop, because you can change that out. You can get different. I mean, they're expensive. I think it's like, what is it, $1,800 for the scoop?
Yeah, I don't know. I know Anderson Composites has one. I think APG has one too.
Yeah, for the hood
for the insert.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's multiple companies that do. I know Anderson Composites has it.
APG does for the Ford Bronco, because Chase put it on his. It looked really good.
Yeah.
It's got a little.
Who's got that now? Mean Green, our buddy Don.
Yep. Don.
He just got it. He got Chase's. That's what I was told. What he told me.
Yeah. Because Chase needed another red what is it? Race red, so he could give it back to Ford.
Yeah.
His year's up already. Already.
Crazy how it goes.
Did they renew him?
Yep. And he's on Raptor R now too. So he's got the Raptor R.
Well, I thought he was supposed to get a regular Raptor like a year ago or something.
He got a Raptor R.
You got the truck.
Okay. I thought he was supposed to get like a regular Bronco Raptor like a year or two ago.
They let him have one for a little bit. You know, it was just a short time. So
yeah.
What a rough life he's got.
I know.
Dude, he grinds, man. I'll tell you, he grinds hard. The stuff he does, oh my gosh, it's insane. That guy is a machine. So, you know, can't say nothing bad about him personally.
Yeah, I've met him. He's real nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No. Chase is solid. Him and Jackie and new baby, and they're doing great.
Yeah, he was at Windrock with them when he came to Supercell. I want to think 2 years ago, Supercell East. I know he went out to Windrock with the crew that went out there. That's where I met him at. It was Supercell East. I sat and talked to him for a brief moment.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Cool guy.
Yeah, I think for me though, events is Bronco Palooza. There's that Big Bear Bash in Southern California, where that area that Trail Militia does a lot of trails on.
Okay, yep.
It's in like early June, I think. I've thought about doing that. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on what the money's like and how that new suspension goes, if it works well. But definitely Bronco Palooza, I'll be flying in. I'm not driving back there. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's I checked it out. I think it's like 17 hours for me. So it's either Moab or Bronco Palooza.
You've been to Moab.
I know, 3 times. So been there, done that. So there's something else I haven't done.
Well,
I think
in my opinion, Bronco Palooza is way more fun than Moab.
I'll just drive Courtney's Bronco if I go to Bronco Palooza, right, Courtney?
Yeah, it's all yours.
Actually, I can ride with Evan, give you a break.
Go into Automotive Solutions next week for my Bronco Palooza upgrades.
Oh,
nice. Can you dilute? Or is it going to be unveiled at the Bronco Palooza?
No, it's nothing that exciting. I'm getting a bunch of interior lighting added, and what else did I do? I have the XK Glow rock lights underneath.
Yep.
But the app never wants to stay connected to my phone, to the lights. So anytime I go to use them, it's disconnected. So they have a dash mount that I'm having added too. So my lights underneath and the interior will all work from the dash controller.
That's. Do you have the upfitter toggles on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, hers are all used up though.
So is one of the rock light switches on that?
No.
Okay. See, I have mine on a toggle, and as long as that toggle's on, it stays connected all the time. Wonder if that's a situation. Power source.
No,
yours is so the controller is supposed to be on a constant.
Yeah,
Right.
it's hard.
But it was weird. Like it was like every time she'd go through a car wash,
my rock lights would turn on.
Water
Anytime it rained, anytime there was water anywhere,
and electrical are like best friends.
Right.
So
just like
we got
fire
that
and electrical.
It doesn't do that anymore, but
she'd need a whole new bank of switches to put them on.
So yeah, XK Glow has that new module, right? That's
the one.
Yeah, so I'm getting that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, where's that mounting at? I've seen a guy that mounted one right up on top where your sunglasses or the aux lights are. He mounted it like right up there, and it looks really good.
That's good to know, because we were kind of looking at when you look at it and your windshield height is so short.
Yep.
Like, where are we going to put this where it's not blocking my view?
Yeah. Yeah. You know how it rounds out in the face like that? And that he just mounted it right on the front, like as you look at it where that little bump out or camel hump at the top where the aux lights are, mounted right on there. It looked really good and easy accessible. I was like sitting in it going, oh man, this is awesome. Because I'm in the same with you. I'm out of spaces, and I got a couple other things to do, and I'm thinking, what do I do? Where do I
Right.
mount it? And he mounted it there, and it looked really clean and good, out of the way. It's not on the dash to where it's like in your vision. It's
Right.
up
Yeah.
and out of the way. Look pretty good. So I mean, hold it up there, take a look.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he has the aux beam though. His was the aux beam setup, so just depends on the size of the controller.
Right. Yeah, so we haven't they haven't installed one of those, the new controllers in person. So we're waiting for them to get it so we can see how big it's going to be to
Right.
figure out where it's going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought about putting it up there. That's why I recommended it. I mean, that's why I brought it up. I was like, it looked really
And you
cool.
got to reach up there for your other lights. So
Right. You're up there and it's right there. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen some people use the DV8 Molly thing too, like Derek and Monica have.
Yep.
I don't think you have that, do you? You don't have something like that, do you, Courtney?
No.
I just got the DV8 trunk wheel well, rear well thing. I went in the back when I was cleaning out the Bronco and trying to set up my new armadillo rack for the cage, and I opened it up and half of the thing was busted out, like the box was hanging down, about ready to fall out. The plastic bin, the Ford stock one. I was like,
wow.
oh, this is a problem.
wow.
I have no idea whether, I don't know, because I have my tie rods and tie rod ends, and then I've got some tools back there, so I don't know if it's from like bouncing and the downforce and everything.
You gotta quit jumping your shit, man.
I know. Yeah.
Ladder starts zip tying everything down.
Mama never said it. Well, it was in the bin. But yeah, that's pretty good. It added more space. I like it.
So Gonzo, I talked to Alex. Most of y'all know him as 904. I told him, I said, because I asked him if he's going to go to that. And if he does, I thought about seeing if he wanted to split a room or something. So word's still out on that, the Big Bear thing.
Just got to do the planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah.
One room, one bed.
Yeah, speaking of booking, I booked all my, I was telling Evan before we got on here, I booked all my Colorado trip for Supercell Colorado. So I'm going to stop in Monument Valley in the Four Corners area on the way up, then go on into Ouray the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Hopefully Black Bear and Poughkeepsie Gulch the Wall will be open, because that's the only two I didn't do last time I was there because they were both closed still. And then drive up Tuesday to Buena Vista, and then drive back after the event Friday and stop. I think it's a place called Cortez, Colorado. It's not far from Four Corners, but on the way back, so I had to go book all my hotels and shit today.
That might be one I know my wife likes that one. We might hit it up. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, if you do, let me know. Definitely, I'd love to hang out with you.
You guys gonna go, or are you gonna fall asleep over there?
It's pushing 11 o'clock here.
That's right. Yeah,
Bedtime.
10:15 here too.
I was about to say,
Game, right? 10:15.
Yeah.
8:15 here. So
Yeah, bright-eyed and bushy-tail.
I wish that everybody would go to either daylight savings time, because it throws everything off. Well, Phoenix or Arizona doesn't change, so part of the year I'm with LA and part of the year I'm with Vegas.
Yeah, the whole growing crops and need an extra sunlight, that's over with, man.
Yeah.
Right. With Monsanto, you can grow it through in the darkness.
Right.
Well, I think there's a bill that's been lurking in Congress forever, and it's got like bipartisan support. So I don't know why the hell. And Trump said he would sign it, so I don't know what the hell's taking so long getting that shit to where they end it.
He's got other more important things to sign.
I know, but still, he would get it.
You can say, hey, we're going to pass this bill for just daylight savings time. Like this bill is just for this.
Right.
And every representative, whether it's a congressman, a senator, whoever, they get to say, we're going to add this part to it, this part to it, this part to it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's 1,400 pages and costs $3.9 trillion.
Maybe we should just do it as a constitutional amendment.
There you go.
There we go. Or just common sense law.
Just so we don't have to be changing our clocks. I just want to quit messing with the microwave and the stove.
Well, if you move to Arizona, guys, y'all have to deal with that or Hawaii. What
But I really do love the extra light at the end of the day when spring hits.
Yeah, I think daylight savings time is the way to go because I don't like it getting dark whenever I get home. As soon as I get home,
Yeah, I just want it to stay light out. As
I
late
don't
as
care to drive dark to work in the morning because I'm going to work. It's not like I'm doing anything fun.
Well, work's not fun.
Like that paycheck is.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Evan, Courtney, I know Bronco Palooza, obviously, but what other events you guys got?
That's it.
yeah, for right now.
And of course, United by Bronco next year.
Yeah, and we're gonna do the Sturgis Bronco Rally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's in September, right?
September.
What day is that? Is that like the third or fourth week?
It's the last weekend of, so it's like the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the last.
It's like there's so many events in September this year. Seems like. So I've had like 5 or 6 people ask me, "Oh, you're gonna go to this? You're gonna go to that?" And I'm like, "Dude, I can't go to all of them."
Yeah, it's the 24th through the 27th.
Yeah, Arizona groups want me to go back to the Rubicon, but I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do it 2 years in a row.
I'd go back, but I don't know if I'd do it 2 years.
It's like Rob's going to Colorado. Looks like he says he's going to do Colorado.
Yeah, he's going to Super Soul next week. And Rob, you live up. Where's he live at? I forgot.
I'm not sure.
I think he live in Texas. He told us something before.
Yeah,
anyway.
Maybe he'll tell us where he is. All I know is where I'm at. It takes me freaking 8 hours to get the hell out of the state.
Right.
So,
oh yeah. Well, yeah, you're in.
I call it.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's in Arkansas, so that's not too big of a stretch to go to Tennessee.
We ask every time, and we always forget.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. We'll learn.
Sorry, Rob. We still love you, buddy. So that's probably like midway between East Tennessee and Colorado, if you think about it.
Yeah, he's in a sweet spot.
Yeah. Because Tennessee's a long ass state. It's not the big like Texas is. Texas is long, north, south, east, west, whatever.
I think it's like
15
11
hour
hours.
to Colorado, 8 to Tennessee. Well, it's still a day's drive if you take some Celsius water and a couple of uppers.
A little something. Little make twitch.
Little bump of Coke about halfway there.
Yeah, some of that methamphetamine. Get there in about an hour. Come on. Let's go, guys.
Oh man. All right. Well, anybody else got anything they want to talk about before we head out? It's getting to be y'all's bedtime.
You just count sheep.
Yeah. Well, so I think let's make a bet here. Who wants to bet who's the first to get the Godzilla motor converted? I'm gonna go with Evan.
Bobbing and weaving. So,
Go with Evan.
I don't know. You know what? I'm happy with my V6. To be honest with you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm weird.
No, that's fair. We're the only 2 people in this chat that have the bottle of pop-sized engine.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm happy with it, and once I get this tune on it, hopefully that'll pep it up a little bit from the Goose.
Sure.
So so now there's a few tunes out for those things now. What is it? ZFG, Whipple, 5-star, and now Goose is going to be doing one. So
I don't know. We'll see what it. Again, like I said, it's going to snowball. Once there's 2 and 3, then you're going to have every. Well, this shop can do it, so we can do it, and it's just going to snowball, and you're going to be able to drive into any more capable off-road shop and say, yeah, we can swap that in here for you, no problem. And that's
but it's going to probably be 25 to 50, depending. Okay,
I mean, the motor itself. How much is the motor itself?
Well, so before
10,
people start
12.
figuring out what you could do, what you can make out of those motors, you could order from Jegs the motor, the wire harness, and the 10R140 for $14,999 shipped to your door. But I mean, that's not the 10R80. That's the. I mean, you were just getting all the controllers right out of a Super Duty.
So now you wonder why I put my bet on Evan. He's already looked it up.
He knows all kinds of stuff over here.
It's like that in The Hangover where all the mathematical symbols are like buzzing around his head. That's
Right.
Evan right there. He's thinking about Godzilla motors or solid axis ones.
He's like, a kidney will get me this. A kidney will get me this. Plasma will get me this.
Well, I made a meme that I sent to her, but I hadn't posted online, and it's Johnny Depp. And it says me calculating how many pairs of my wife's underwear I have to sell on Craigslist to get 250K.
I'd say probably 2.
That needs to go out there. Oh boy. She's like, nope.
She just shakes her head at me, just like, you stupid.
I should say, if there's any women out there that are into overweight middle-aged guys, I might start an OnlyFans. I don't know.
I've got one. It's called Homely Fans, though.
Oh Lord.
Be like Light Bright and just earn my money that way too. So Rob, you talking about split in 2 days. Well, from Chicago, it was about 21 hours. So we usually split it up. We stopped at a place outside of Denver called Sterling. That was to 21 hours from Chicago to Ouray. Ironically, it took the same amount of time to get from Chicago to Moab. Even though, straight.
How fast were you going?
I don't remember. That's with the 4Runner and the Bronco. That's about how well.
So 55, 60 because he's at a 4Runner.
No, I mean we would do 70.
I'm joking.
But now once you get to Colorado, you're not doing that going across 70.
We made it to Canyon City in 17 hours, and that was with our front diff spraying fluid down the side of the Bronco and trying to figure that out on the way out.
Denver is about 13 and a half hours from here.
Yeah, I think we stopped in Sterling. It was around 11 hours, which Sterling's about an hour and a half back from Denver going towards Chicago. You got to think, we had a big group going the first time. First time we went to Moab, we had like 7 or 8 cars. We had several Subarus, 3 4Runners, and a Lexus GX. And then the second time I went, it was just me and 2 other people, and we made a lot better time.
So I'm only 15 hours to Colorado or 17 to Moab, and I just drive it straight. I just get in and drive.
Well, I could go straight from here to Supercell, Colorado, if I didn't do that. I'm just taking my time because I got better to do. But
sure, I
could make it supposedly, but according to Google Maps, I can make it in 12 hours from here. But I'm choosing to stop in Ouray because I wanted to do some more trails.
Sure,
there's a ton of trails around Denver. If you ever get a chance to wheel around there, everybody thinks of Colorado. They think of Ouray or some of those other areas out west in western Colorado, but there's actually quite a bit of trails there around Denver too.
Yep.
You taking the pups with you?
Yeah, well, the hotels I got are all pet friendly, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because that's going to be a whole week. Boarding them, that would be super expensive.
He's out. He's going.
I got history.
Maybe.
I got to stretch.
It's just me and you, boys.
My left butt.
All right, good. Now we got a show.
Get that bump on a log out of here, guys. Falling asleep, making me fall asleep. And so
Courtney, I figured, at Bronco Palooza, if I stay an extra day and go down to Badlands, if you want to take a light day and not have to film, I can get out and film for Evan, so that way you won't have to worry about him running you over.
Then what'll I do?
You're the only one that runs people over, Jody.
I am not. He said that you I'll run you over. I don't remember ever getting close to running you over.
At least once.
Twice.
Where were we?
Badlands.
Yeah.
Badlands? Well, you probably deserved it.
Almost ran me on that hill in the quarry.
Well, you get out of the way.
I was definitely squatted down, and you were coming up and couldn't see me. I was down by your.
Oh, well, told you it's your fault.
Yeah.
No, you do good. So Scott, I don't know, I'm sure you've heard, but Courtney hiked pretty much the entire Rubicon Trail, filming everybody.
That's what I heard.
I don't know how she still walked.
That's her safety zone, right? To get out where she's not in the rig.
If I did that, I wouldn't be able to walk right for probably a few weeks because my damn muscles would be so shot. That's some slick ass rocks too.
Yeah, I'm surprised my ankles are still intact.
So I don't want to go to Rubicon. I want to make sure I go when Scott goes.
Yeah, I need to test out these new tires, these new Toyo tires. I mean, I've got them. I was pretty impressed with them in Moab, but they're do great on the street. They're quiet. So I'm curious to see. I need to get out to Hidden Falls and get them on some rocks and see what they're going to do on the rocks. So
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit better around here. So they're pretty slick. They're pretty sweet so far. I'm impressed.
Yeah. I've been thinking about what to do when those Nitos finally go out. Those trail grappers. They're missing some chunks out of them already. I've only had it for about a year and a half.
Toyo RT Pros.
Yeah. It's either that or get the trail grapplers, the MT ones. I want to go with. I want to stay with
I
38.
think I'm like 19 pounds lighter on these. These Toyos are a lot lighter than the Nitos. A lot lighter, like
Well,
considerably.
mine are C rated, so they're pretty light.
So
The 38-inch Nitos, they're actually them with the method wheels were lighter than the fuel wheels that I had with 37s with the BFG 37s on.
Your wheel and tires that like 30 pounds lighter than mine.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty light because they're C rated. The tire's C rated. I mean it's pretty light tire for a 38. I think it's like 80 pounds maybe.
Mine. Oh wait, no, this is not.
It's
It's like 81, 82, somewhere in there.
I think mine's like 118 a corner.
Oh wow. And then those method wheels are only like 22 pounds, whereas a stock rim was like 35. And if you got those you got bead locks on yours, don't you, Evan?
Yeah,
Yeah, those are probably pretty heavy.
they're very
Just-
heavy.
Yeah, 76 pounds for those Toyos.
So not much difference, about 5 pounds maybe.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way lighter than my Mickeys, like 19 pounds lighter than my Mickeys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mickey's tend to run heavy, I think.
They're
yeah.
heavy.
But yeah, we'll just see. Hopefully I can get at least another 6 months out of them. Those damn things are expensive as hell.
You'll
Our
get as much
Toyos-
life out of them until you don't.
Yeah. Well, I've been rotating all 5 to try to minimize that. And
There you go.
so we'll see.
Not cheap.
No.
All right. Well, boys and girls, I think I've run out of shit to talk about. So no, it's hard to believe. I think we should all go see Rob down in Arkansas one year for hit the Ozarks.
Yeah, he probably got some places for us.
Yeah. That's something else. I was talking about September. My Toyota friends were trying to talk me to go in the Ozarks for that. I'm like, dude, I'm already doing other shit. So anyway, all right. Anybody?
Any other point besides September, let us know because we'd probably be down if it's not September.
Right.
Well, that's me too. I'm like, I've got, I can't spend a whole week in Colorado and then spend a whole week somewhere else. There you go, Rob. Rendezvous in Ozarks, October 16th. That's an event I've always wanted to do.
I haven't.
I don't know
I'll
if
have to Google that one. I don't think I've known. I don't know about that one. I'll check it out.
It's an event. But it's open to all makes and models. It's been going on for a while. I don't know if the rivers. I don't know if the river is full that time of year though. I know if you go in the spring, you gotta be careful because the damn water crossings will go over your hood.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah,
Mud and water. I'm out.
Well, that's pretty much all it is. It's like driving in the East Coast. It's mostly mud and trees and shit.
Yeah, I did that shit when I was young. I don't want to clean that up anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a video. I think because the Ozark Overland Adventure guy was there, and so what they normally call it the high water mark run or whatever, or the cold water run, but it was so low it was barely over the middle of their tires.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll take that. That's fine. And not getting into my axles.
Right.
I think it depends on what time of year you go. Well, if your Raptors probably got the same vent that ours does. The vents on theirs, they run all the way up into the fuel filler.
Yeah, I ain't believing none of that.
On the rear axle, on the front axle, it's
not
that high.
It's like right at the motor or right below the motor. It's not high.
Same height it's almost the exact same height as your oil filter. Well,
Yeah.
at least on the 2.3 it is. Wherever the
Well,
2.3
just don't stop.
Huh?
Don't stop. You'll be all right.
If I drive fast enough, I'll stay on top of the water, right? If I drive fast enough,
that water out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
you remember that? They teach you that at off rodeo in Austin. Actually, that's where I learned it.
I've never been to an off rodeo.
That
Yep.
boat
Missed
thing.
out on my
You
Raptor.
got to stay on the gas.
Oh, yeah. You stay on the gas.
Slow
But
and
see, when
steady.
Jamie went, he actually got to go through water. All the water that we were supposed to go through when we went
It was dry.
it was bone dry.
Actually,
And
what, 3 years ago? This past couple of days was when I was there. But
Which
yeah,
one
I mean, yeah,
Texas.
I went to the one in Austin.
I need to go. I need to go see Mike and Amy over there. I just need to go.
Yeah. Well, if I had a Raptor, I'd probably go to the Vegas one because it's got
I
the Raptor.
lost out on mine because I had to do it before December, and I was supposed to crew up with a bunch of guys, and nobody could pull it together. And then by then, I was going to go, and then I got the thing from Toyo to go up in December to Moab, and I'd much rather take that. So
For
we
sure.
did that, and then so I missed out on it. I'm sure I could probably go if I was to make some calls, but they took the jump out. I've jumped mine farther and higher than their jump is. And the stuff they're doing, I've already done. So it'd be nice to learn maybe some things that I don't know about it. I'm certain that there is, but I just haven't had a chance to go.
Talk about Metal Tech 4x4. They're the ones that were in the school during the when they first opened it that jumped one and busted the front end out of it because they didn't let off the time.
Metal Tech? Oh, where at? You sure
At
that
the
wasn't
Raptor
Gray with
off
Mario?
rodeo.
Was
The
that Gray with
Raptor off rodeo? The Metal Tech 4x4 guys.
Okay.
They were driving. I think it was like media days where mainly it was just like aftermarket manufacturers and like influencers and media people.
Okay.
It wasn't open to the public yet. Yeah, it went viral. It's back probably like a year or two ago, I guess, when they first opened it. The guy that was riding with them was like, let off, and they didn't let off. And when they jumped, it was kind of like our buddy in Chicago, and the front skid pounded the ground. And I think it broke a bunch of shit.
I've hit in the flat before. It doesn't do good. It's not where you're supposed to hit. Got to hit on this transition wherever you can.
At this point, all the shit I put mine through, I'm afraid if I jumped it, like everything would just like.
It looked like a Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story when it just
Like all four wheels would be like this.
No, they just eject. They just pop right off.
Yeah. Grenade a few wheel bearings and front axles.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. Now I'm serious. I'm getting off here.
All right, man.
All right.
That was good.
Scott, man, thank you so much for joining us. Evan, Courtney, always your pleasure.
Always your pleasure. Nice.
Yeah. See you guys in 2 weeks.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Night.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Good night.
Thanks.
Okay, good